Hi everyone, Spiderman 1991 here to talk about my comics for the week. Okay, first off from Marvel, Amazing Spider-Man, the conclusion to Origin of Species. This review will contain spoilers for the final part though, so if you haven't gotten it yet, just skip right along till I'm finished. If not though, if you have and just want to hear what I had to think about it, enjoy. Okay, we get to Lizard in his little base feeding the little baby. Then Doc Ock's threatening hobos to figure out where the lizard is, and Spider-Man finds him and tags along. But when they get closer as they get closer to the lizard, though, Ock starts to lose and revert to the reptile state, like after Lizard evolved. And pretty much it's revealed that Spider-Man took some formula so that he wouldn't be affected by the lizard anymore. And while he was fighting Doc Ock, he was able to get all his tentacles tangled up so he could take him out. So he could take him out in one hit. But then the lizard shows up, and then Spider-Man says he wants the baby, and Lizard just says, "Here, take it." He says that the baby does no one no good. And Spider-Man is able to do some lab testing, and he figures out that apparently the baby does not have any goblin serum inside him, which means that Norman Osborn is not the father. And then Spider-Man tells Ock that the baby isn't what he's looking for, and that he should just leave now. And now he calls him pathetic. And Spider-Man calls Ock pathetic after all this time, and is able to leave while leaving a blood sample for Ock to test later, just to prove how wrong he was. So Spider-Man gets the baby out, texts Mary Jane to tell Lily that he and the baby are safe at the Avengers Tower, and of course Lily is afraid since she's being hunted by Osborn, and she just flies off, saying that she can't be a part of the baby's life. And meanwhile, Harry goes to Avengers Tower to pick up the baby, and Spider-Man gets a blood sample of Harry, and it's revealed that, spoiler alert, Harry's the actual father, not Norman. Yay! Now instead of having a little brother, Harry has a son. And Harry is now kind of relieved because he was worried that he would have to make a real big bargain with Osborn for Octopus for the baby if that ever came to it. And so in the end, Harry walks off with his new son, and Spider-Man goes swinging off into the sunlight as usual, glad that he's friends with Steve Rogers since he's cleared of all charges. And Spider-Man thinking to himself, and he thinks to his life as amazing. Okay, Origin of Species. Very good. I loved the ending, how they kind of put the little twist. I mean, at first they made you, way back in American Son, they made you think, wow, Norman's just a douche for trying to make a baby with his son's ex-girlfriend. And now that Harry really is the father, which is very entertaining, and that was a real twist I didn't see coming. I mean, I kind of knew the baby may have wound up with Harry, but the fact that it's his own son, that was a very good ending, and I really like this issue. Okay, moving along. Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Whereas everything works out for the mainstream Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, his life is in shambles. As Peter's trying to recover after the Chameleon adventures, Carol Danvers, the active director of S.H.I.E.L.D., tells him that after this little incident, he's been nothing but trouble, and that he should put the costume away until he's 18. And when he does turn 18, he should talk to her about what to do. Meanwhile, at the Parker home, Aunt May talks to Peter about everything, and she tells him to try to get his life back in order. Even though Peter starts asking himself, if I wasn't Spider-Man, Aunt May tells him, stop thinking like that, you're a special boy, blah, blah, blah. And tells her to go to school and talk to everyone, especially Gwen, since she got the worst of it. And then Gwen tries to talk to MJ, and she does. And when Gwen's talking to MJ, she reveals that she forced Peter to be her boyfriend, and that even though she knew how much he loved MJ, she pushed him back, and now he's stuck with her pretty much. And she's really frustrated that now that thing happened because of Peter, and she still has to live in his house because she has nowhere else to go. And so Gwen pretty much had a little emotional breakdown, but she leaves. Meanwhile, in another hospital, J. Jonah Jameson recovers, and he gets Ben Urich and Robbie Robinson to write a story about what really happened, about how Spider-Man was framed. And he also says that he knows who Spider-Man is, but he doesn't want to tell anyone. Which is funny, because he now knows who Spider-Man is, but he doesn't want to tell anyone. Which is good, I think. A lot of character for Jonah, but still. And in class, everyone's bored, and they get introduced to a new student who Peter immediately recognizes as that girl who teamed up with her mother way back in like Ultimate Comics Spider-Man 10 or something, called Bombshell. And he talks to Bobby and Johnny about it, and he says he should go talk to her. And he tries to talk to her, and she just thinks he's hitting on her, and just cuts him off. And then Peter calls her Bombshell, and which gets her attention, and he talks to her about, apparently she got off because of her mother was declared an unfit parent and stuff, and now she asked Peter to keep her secret. And MJ and Peter notice it, and MJ's like, wait, why is he talking to that girl instead of us? And Gwen just slams her locker and leaves. And I like this moment here with Bobby and Johnny are like, every girl. Dude gets every girl. Then MJ and Peter start talking about their relationship and what happened, and what happened with the chameleon. And now, after MJ spills her guts, she leaves and tells Peter to go see Gwen. And meanwhile, back at the Parker household, it shows Gwen leaving with a huge backpack. And when Peter goes back, Aunt May tells Peter that Gwen's left. Okay, Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 15. Everything good for Spider-Man has now downslided, and he's pretty much with his life in a wreck with women. So Gwen Stacy, Ultimate Gwen, did not work out, apparently. I kind of hope he does go back to MJ, but, it may or may not. Because I was really confused about that at the beginning of Ultimate Comics Spider-Man. Like, how the hell did he even start dating Gwen in the first place? That didn't make any sense, how they broke up and how they got together. It just seemed weird. Okay? I wouldn't say pick this issue up, but you may want to get it just to, this might be one of those issues just to give you kind of a quick recap about what happened if you haven't been reading the series and what will happen. And this is going to be the last issue that's like numbered of the so-called new series, and it's going to be, and next month they're going to have issue 150 of Ultimate Spider-Man, which is going to be sweet, and they're going to go back to the original numbering. Okay? Okay. Secret Avengers number 6. This issue has ninjas, kung fu action, and father-son issues. Now to cover each thing, we start off with a seemingly young man, Shang-Chi, master of kung fu, sleeping, and then all of a sudden he's woken up by a ninja stampede. So as Shang-Chi's dodging ninjas, fighting them off, the Prince of Orphans shows up. And after they take care of the ninjas, he calls Steve Rogers and tells him that he has the boy. And 2 days ago on the Avengers HQ, it's revealed Steve had hired the Prince of Orphans to help him with the case of Max Fury, figure out who he's working for. And the Prince tells Steve that the organization is called the Haydai, and that now they're looking for the Eyes of the Dragon. Fortunately, Beast is able to figure out what the Eyes of the Dragon do, which is basically resurrect someone. And now they figured out they pretty much figured out who the Haydai would want to resurrect, and they decide to go after and Steve says that they need to find Shang-Chi quickly. And meanwhile, in the present, Steve has Shang-Chi aboard the Secret Avengers HQ, and they talk about about Shang's father, how he led the Haydai, and that it would be strange that the Haydai would be active since his father was still dead. So Steve says he can't explain that, but they're going to find out. So he gets Shang-Chi to join the team, and the two of them, along with Black Widow, go to a museum in China, sneak into a museum in China to get the dragon's eyes, but unfortunately they're glass, which means it's a trap. As the Secret Avengers get ready to fight off ninjas, it's revealed in the Altai mountain range that the Haidai, Max Fury, is working for the Haidai, and that apparently Shang-Chi's father is alive, but he's only half, like, partially dead, alive, sort of thing, where he can't, well, you know, it's kind of one of those situations where he's not dead, but not fully alive, so he clearly needs Shang-Chi to be fully brought back to life. Okay, Secret Avengers. It has Kung Fu Action, Secret Organization, and father-son issues. Oh, and spells to resurrect the dead. What's not to love? Maybe the resurrecting the dead thing because of Blackest Night, but still. Ed Brubaker, I've heard he writes an excellent Steve Rogers, and I'm going to give this series a try, especially after what crap the main Avengers series is. So, pretty much this first part was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and I really hope the rest of the story will be good, and we get more action. Okay, moving right along. Fantastic Four, number 584. In this issue, Ben Grimm decides to drink the formula that the Future Foundation made for him, so now he will turn human for 1 week per year, 1 week a year for every year for the rest of his life. And so now that Ben's human again, Johnny Storm, in a Barney Stinson fashion, takes Ben out for a night on the town. First, they walk around as two normal guys. Then they go to a Giants game. Ben has some dinner with old friends. Then he enjoys a poker game with all his superhero buddies. And meanwhile, late at night, when they go to Johnny's car, the Yancey Street Gang is there, which is now composed of failed dot-commers, ex-Wall Street traders, and failed hedge fund managers due to the recession. And they pretty much ask for money, or else they'll damage the car or beat them up or something. And of course, Ben punches them out. And even without his powers, Ben still manages to pack a mean punch. And then Johnny takes Ben one more place for his first night being human. And Ben sees Alicia Masters, and she's happy to see him, and she's happy he's human. So now, yay! And Johnny's just at his car thinking, "Good job, Ben." Okay, and the only two others, and just to let you know what the Richardses are up to, Sue gets ready to go meet with the Atlantean Council she was a member of, along with Namor. And Reed's visited by the Silver Surfer, who wants to know what the hell is up with Galactus' corpse in the Earth. And Reed says it's difficult to explain, and Silver Surfer says he's not asking for himself, he's asking for him. So yeah, there's going to be some trouble. Okay, so that pretty much tells the story of what Ben does for his first week of being human, and I liked it, okay? I liked seeing Ben, be himself, being human. He hasn't been human in a while, so he got to be just a regular guy, which is nice. It's nice that Ben can... Okay, he may not be fully human or have the ability to turn his powers on and off at will, but I think it'd be nice just to give him, a little vacation from being the Thing all the time. Which is very enjoyable. And enjoyable about that moment he had with Alicia, because she liked him even when he was all rocks. So, yay. Okay, that concludes my Marvels. Stay tuned for DC.